Hey everyone, Josh here from Lakewood Sports Headquarters. Thanks for tuning into this video. If you just bought yourself a Livescope, first off, congratulations, that's awesome. And if you are wanting to learn how to set it all up together with some accessories like a shuttle, a pull system, you've come to the right place. We're gonna do a walkthrough from box to finished product on what that's gonna look like. First thing, of course, if you're new to Livescope or you need some Livescope accessories, we sell it all here at Lakewood Sports Headquarters. Shop at sportsheadquarters.ca or visit us in Winnipeg or Kenora. This is actually pretty straightforward, but we haven't seen too many videos on this, so we decided let's do a video. So we had one of our employees here purchase his first Livescope system, which is awesome. Everyone here loves using Livescope. It's a game changer. The technology is amazing. So we're gonna set this up for him. So he ended up going with a 93 SV UHD2, the LVS 34 and black box combo, a 16 volts 18 amp powerhouse lithium battery, our own custom Lakewood Sports Headquarters shuttle system, and for the pull system he went with our own custom pull system as well, which can be easily transferred into an ice system. I'll talk to you more about that later, but this is a 90-degree bracket. We also make it in 45-degree depending on your track system in your boat. This is a DD26 Livescope transducer cover. It's a $2,000 transducer, so this is going to keep it protected when he's on the road traveling or he's ice fishing, leaving the back of the truck. Slap this on, protects your deucer. One accessory we really recommend if you're going to be doing a portable system is the Garmin 4-in-1 power cable. This is great because it cuts down on all the excess wire. So when you buy it as a summer transducer like this here and a summer unit like this, it comes with like 10-foot power cords, which now you have to find to wrap around your shuttle, which is a lot of excess wire. This one just condenses all that down. You have a 4-pin power for your head unit, a 2-pin for your black box. It plugs into your battery, a lot cleaner and no excess wire. As far as tools for this, screwdriver with a couple different heads and a pair of wire snippers, cutters. That's all you need, pretty simple. We're gonna start off with mounting everything onto the shuttle. So first thing we're gonna do is do the GLS 10 black box. That's the black box right there. And one real important thing that we thought with our shuttle system is we actually put the black box on the inside here because this is like a $650 item and we don't want this on the back here getting thrown around, rubbed up against things, breaking, scratching, etc. So we decided to put our battery on the back where you have full access to it if you ever need to swap batteries, or if you're having some battery issues, you have quick, easy access to plop it off, put another one in, and away you go. And at the same time, your black box is inside, safe and secure. Okay, so first thing, we're gonna just take off these two screws right here, which is gonna take off this front plate. Now this front plate slides out here. And that all comes pre-wired. Inside you have a little voltmeter, 12-volt cigarette lighter adapter, some USB-Cs if you want to charge your phone, charge a camera, whatever. And it comes off of a positive, negative wire, and you have a fuse already built in. So once you have your front plate off, your shuttle will come with a box of bolts like this, come with some bolts like that, and that is just going to hold your black box to the shuttle. So what we're going to do here now, put that plate aside. Your black box, power connectors here, is going to go up and you're just going to slide that in like so. You will notice in the corners here, there are holes in the shuttle, where you will connect. And on the back, you will see there is one on the bottom side of each two, like so. And now, all you're going to do, I recommend putting all 4 in first before you start to tighten them, just so they align correctly. And now, just gonna put your bolt through, take your nuts, put it behind, and just lightly screw that on, and do that for all 4 corners. And once you got all 4 bolts in, you can now tighten them up. I usually like starting with the bottom, and then the top sucks right in. Now the black box is secured, protected, and it's going to be there for a long time to come. Now while I have the faceplate off, I'm going to just trim off these 2 ends right here, because this is what's going to connect to the battery to power these accessories on the shuttle. So once I have that done, I'm just going to give them a couple little twists, both ends, are what we recommend using. Just these little merits here. Gonna plop a couple of those out. You could also use shrink wrap if you want to add on to this, which isn't a bad idea either. But just gonna put that inside there. Make sure you get a lot of wire. And squeeze down. Make sure it's nice and secure. And now that one is on. Now you're gonna do the same thing for the other side. Now these ones work great with the powerhouse batteries. These are 1/4 inch. Depending what battery you have, or if you're running posts or little alligator clips, that's gonna depend on what connections you need. So once you have this done, you put the faceplate aside. Before we put the faceplate on, we're gonna connect our cradle from our Garmin. UHD 9, great unit. Gonna get all the components now to put on our shuttle. So we just need the cradle here, and our shuttle already comes with these screws to mount this onto, so you don't need anything else out of this box for now. I'm gonna put this away. I'm gonna put the head unit away in a safe spot so we don't drop it. So on our shuttle, we have a couple different hole patterns in the center there, depending on which unit you have, but they do come with 4 bolts already. So we're just gonna take these off, put them to the side for a sec. And just to make your life easier, I would just take the connection part that would connect the unit right off, just so you can see better, have a little more access. Make your life easier, just put that to the side. And now we're just going to line up what bolt pattern works right there, and then we're gonna put our screws in. I always like dropping all 4 screws in too, just so that way you don't start tightening some up and you kind of get misaligned. So this way it just keeps it all intact nicely. So I'll drop all 4 in first. Boom, fits good. Then I'll just come back and just finger tighten the bottom with the nuts, and then you can slowly tighten them all together. Just like that, all loosely tightened. Now we come back, screwdriver, a little pair of things here, and tighten it all up. Now once that's all secured on there, now we can go ahead, make sure you grab your wires here, run them through outside this little corner, and put your faceplate back on. Once that's secured, we're gonna get to putting the battery on this unit. So Kai chose to go with a 16 volt, 18 amp powerhouse battery, which is what we carry. Great choice for a 9-inch screen. It's gonna last them basically a full day. And with the 16 volts, it actually gives you a little bit of a clearer live imaging return. So great choice here. Our shuttles do fit up to like a 30 amp battery, and they fit all shapes and sizes, and everyone comes with one of these straps here. So all we're gonna do, I put my negative and positive end closer to where the cords are, like so, just like that. Strap this through, like this, come back through that, and then we're just gonna tighten that down. And now that is on there nice and secure. Now for connections for this battery, we have 3 different ones. So this is coming from our plates. That's gonna give us some accessories that's gonna mount here. Powerhouse comes with a little quick charger, so we also have to mount this to the battery as well, so we can charge it nice and easy. And then we're gonna have one more power cord at the end that we're gonna wait to the end to do, and that's gonna be coming to our head units and also our black box. But that's all, once again, with this accessory here, that is all. The head unit black box is gonna go into one power cable. It's gonna go to our battery. A lot cleaner, a lot better. So just to kind of keep this a little more organized, just for now, I'm just going to unscrew this negative, put my negative end in here for now. It's a little excess, that's fine. We make it a little bit longer in case you need to go a little bit farther if you want to connect it to a different source. We're just gonna tuck this in after underneath the shuttle. And then our positive here, same thing. And now at the same time, I'm just gonna put this little adapter charger on it too, which also comes with a fuse. Once again, just keeping it organized. And now just to make sure everything's all connected properly, we can come back to the front, turn it on, and we have our volt reading and the power light is on, so everything is connected so far. And now the next thing to do is we're going to take our head unit, plop it on the shuttle, and we're going to get to rigging our power source that's going to power our black box and our head unit. So we're going to open this up now. We got our head units beside us here. Black box is already mounted on. So that is a lot more condensed down than the stock power cords that come with the head unit and the black box. This is gonna make things a lot nicer, a lot simpler, and a lot cleaner overall. Now, some of you may have questions that the new UHD2 units is actually a 2-pin power source, and that is true. However, this will still work with it, because if we take a look at our power here, it is actually in line vertical, the 2 pins, which is going to be the exact same as if we plug this into it. That is going to plug into it perfectly, and it's still going to power. So if you have a UHD or a UHD2, this 4-in-1 power source is still going to work perfectly fine for the newer units as well. So the only thing we have to do is, because our powerhouse has a post system battery, is we just have to snip off these 2 alligator clip ends and put 2 of the little circle ones on, and then we should be laughing. In the meantime, to keep things organized, I'm just going to put the head unit on it so it's nice and clean and nothing's falling over. So I'm just going to put this head unit on now. There's a little button back here that's going to let it accept it. So snaps in like that and then locks back. And now that's all safe and secure. Now we're just going to get all this all wired up. Okay, we now have this power cord converted to work with this battery. Always double check, make sure they're nice and tight. And now this is when it gets really easy. We're just going to come back here again. We're going to do the negative first. Just stack them all in a nice line. Put it into the battery and tighten it down. We'll worry about cord organization a little bit later, but I usually like to put them all so they're within line with the battery. Something like that, and I'll just finger tighten it for now. And we're gonna take the positive end off, finger tighten that on. So now we have our front face power, we have our charger, quick adapt charger, and now we have this, which is gonna plug in to our black box and our head unit. This comes with 2 little gray pieces here. This is if you ever wanted to add an accessory like a USB charger or like a glow cup, whatever. If you don't want to use this, you can cut these off, electric tape it down, away you go. And then this is the stock charger for a Garmin charger. Because we're using a 16-volt charger, I would cut this off, tape it down so you never mix it up. Obviously the connections wouldn't work anyway, but that is actually no use to you. So I'm just gonna cut this off and tape it down. And now that we have everything connected to the battery, this gets super easy. So this, once again, 2-pin, it's gonna plug into our black box, 4-pin, gonna plug into our head unit, and you've saved so much excess wire from being on this shuttle. You're gonna thank yourself later. Best 69 bucks ever. Power here, a network in the middle, and a transducer, which is your Livescope that's gonna plug into it, your LVS34. And all we're gonna do is plug in directly. Now, here's one more cord that's gonna make this a lot easier. This is a Garmin network cord, a small female. And now what this is gonna do is, because you're keeping it portable, this is only about 12 inches long. This works a lot better than what comes in the box, which is this, which is basically the exact same thing, just a longer version. Now, I talked about excess cord. It's not ideal having a bunch of random cord around your shuttle. So this will work, don't get me wrong, but for 35 bucks, this will just do it way simpler, way cleaner, way better. So today we're gonna use this. So this is a small female to large network cord. And once again, it's gonna be way better. And if you ever decide to put this in your boat and permanent mount it, you can hold on to this. This is the whole point of it. If you're mounting in your boat, it's longer if you need to reach a farther spot to your black box. But this little blue female is now going to connect into the black box. And then now that network cord is gonna plug directly back into your head unit, and it's gonna be a lot shorter. Plug in just like that, screw it in till it's tight. So power, network, we're gonna put it back into our shuttle cradle here. Now once you have it all connected, look how clean it is. There's nothing around here, which is only gonna be your transducer cord eventually. But just to confirm we have it all set up correct, we're going to turn it on. That's a good sign. Everything is set, ready to go. Now we're gonna get the transducer out of the box. We're gonna wrap it around, connect it. I'm gonna show you guys how to attach it to our pole system. Okay, now we're getting to the end of this, but we have our LVS34 here. We're gonna take this out of its little box. And we got a bag of goodies, which we will get to later, but first we're going to attach this to our pole. It's our pole system right here. So this handle is actually a screw, so we're just gonna loosen it off. That headpiece comes right off. And then on the bottom here, we're just going to pop this pin out and then take this out like so. And that's it. We're also going to take this pin out so the cord has room to fit through. And you should be just left with this here. Now a trick that I've learned is I take some braided fishing line. We're gonna tie a knot around this piece here. We're gonna pull it through the pole just like you're ripping out an old transducer and putting a new one in. Same kind of get-go. All right, so to get this thing going, I'm gonna take a little bit of braid, a little weight. We're gonna cut this first. Make sure you give yourself lots. And I'm just going to tie this around the weight. Just one little knot. And I'm just gonna drop this down the pole, hold on to the braid, and then there it is. So now, with this end out and the other end to the top of the pole, I'm gonna cut this. And I'm going to tie a knot, the connector here. And this is what I'm gonna use to bring it up. Just like that, you're bringing the cord through the bottom up to the top. You can actually take this bottom piece directly out, so we can add that after. But now I'm just gonna put this through there, and I'm going to grab my cord, and I'm going to pull it all the way through. Just like that. And now we have our cord at the top. And now I'm just gonna feed this cord through this whole pole until we get down to the transducer almost. Till we get about there, and now we're going to attach the second piece of our pole. Like this. This little slot that we have engraved into it. Just like that. And on the very bottom, we have a nice circle here that's been cut out and shaved down so it's not sharp, and that's where your cord is going to come out in the bottom. And then now, you can put this piece back in, put that pin through, like that, and then just to keep this short, we're going to put this one through one of these as well, just like that, come through. And now we have our cord completely going through, and we're gonna mount this on in a sec. Now for the top piece here, just unscrew this handle right off. Bolt comes out. We're gonna put this through and put that bolt back through with the handle, and then just tighten it down. Now we're going to run the cord through this top handle piece until we get close to the pole. And then that handle will fit over top. Turn it clockwise, and then there's a little groove in there which it'll catch. And then tighten it like you would a screw, and that is now set up. Now, depending if you buy this as a winter kit or an ice kit, it'll come with either a 0 degree or 7 degree. The 7 degree is meant if you're putting on your trolling motor shaft, so it doesn't interfere with the trolling motor. It kind of leans off a bit and gets to the side, versus if you're putting on a pull system like this, a 0 degree is better because it'll be looking directly underneath. A 7 degree won't kill you, it'll still work. So these are kind of the three main pieces you're gonna need: C, E, and B. And just open these up. So this is gonna wrap around this little composite piece right here. So I'll show you how that's kind of gonna go. Comes with 4 bolts. Just plop these open. Make sure they don't run away from me. This rubber piece I put right there, just like that. There's a little up arrow on these. Make sure you follow that. And then this part around, and I just hand tighten these screws into the receiving end to start off. It does come with an Allen key, which is nice, so you don't need to get your own Allen key. And I'm just gonna tighten them up so they're a little snug, and then we're gonna align it with our handle after. I'll show you what I'm talking about in a few seconds. Probably bring it to the center of this, just like that. Now, centering this. We want to make sure that when we mount this transducer on, it is either in line this way with the handle or this way. So as you can see right now, that would not be in line. So what we got to do is we got to take this, we got to turn it, and we're going to do it so it's in line with the handle like that. So it's still a little off. Do this. Now that's looking a little more like it, a little bit more. And that's basically perfectly in line for where that transducer is going to be. So I'm just going to go up and I'm going to tighten that right now. So now that we have that tight, I'm just going to unwrap this deucer here. I'm going to pull the cord through a bit. And now that we got this lined up where we want it to be, which is going to be directly in line, I'm just going to take this screw here, feed it through, see where that aligns, then just slowly tighten it on until it is in line with one of the, and now we have our transducer in line with our pull system. And then right through here, you have a couple different marks. You have 3 marks, one for forward, one for down, and one for like shooting a little more backwards. We're gonna keep this in the center one for now, depending what Kai wants to do with it. But that is basically it for how you mount it on here. And now we're gonna get into the fun stuff. We're gonna grab our shuttle back again. We're gonna take the cord. And now what I'm gonna do first, because it's gonna be easier, is I'm gonna plug the transducer into the black box first. Just screw that on, make sure it's nice and snug. And now we're going to wrap this around so it's nice and organized. And then he can decide how much he needs out at any given time. And the last thing we're gonna do is put our DT26 transducer cover on the LVS34 to keep it protected. Comes around, and now that is protected. And for the moment of truth, turns on. We're gonna make sure the transducer is connected. On the black box, there is a status indicator. If it is flashing red, it means that the Livescope LVS34 transducer is not connected. When it goes green, it means you were connected and you were ready to fish. And our status just turned to green, which means we're going to click agree and we are going to get fishing now. That is the complete setup of rigging our pull system and our shuttle here at Lakewood Sports Headquarters. If you have any questions at all, leave a comment down below. Everything in this video will be linked in the description. If you have any questions on Livescope, we're the one-stop shop for everything fishing, everything Livescope. So come on down to Winnipeg or Kenora or shop online at sportsheadquarters.ca. Now get out and get fishing.